Good evening and welcome to this evening's session. We have now started a new online interfaith dialogue series on the topic to be religious today is to be interreligious. This is our second talk in this series. Our talks will mostly be on Thursdays from 6 to 7:30 p.m. Today we listen to the Jain perspective on our topic. Our speaker is Dr. Sunitha Jain. She has been a guest faculty at the University of Madras since 2011, and she gives lectures on Jainism at Loyola College in Chennai. She has participated as a speaker at various national seminars. She has given religious discourses in the Jain community for every Payushan Parva for more than 15 years. Dr. Sunitha Jain recently received her PhD certificate from the President of India. On behalf of today's audience, I congratulate you, madam, on your fine performance.
Thank you, sir.
Sunitha now works as an assistant professor at the Department of Jainology at the SSS Shasun College for Women, Chennai. This is her second talk at this forum, and so some will recognize her from last year. In her eagerness to be part of our program, she requested me to organize her talk today as she will not be available later due to other commitments. A heartfelt thank you, madam, from all of us. We now invite you to share your reflections on our topic for this evening.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, sir, for the warm welcome. And I'm been glad that been sharing about the views of Jainism regarding the interreligious topic. It's my pleasure to be so. Is my screen visible, sir?
Yes, perfectly okay.
Yeah, thank you. To be religious today is to be interreligious. Very wonderful topic. I loved it because this is the need of the hour. In the name of religion, people are scattered, though they are at one roof, under one roof, being at one place on the earth. But still, I feel somewhere that there are various other things going on in the name of religion. So it's a very good topic where I'm very much happy to share my views through Jainism over this platform. When we say religious, let's start as I'm presenting from the Jainology department as Jainism. So let me start my session with Jai Jinendra. Jai Jinendra has come from the root word of Jinendra Bhagavan, the Lord Jineshwar. So who is this Jineshwar? So here they say Jina. He who has conquered love and hate, pleasure and pain, attachment and aversion, and has thereby freed his soul from karmas is as Jinas. So the Jineshwar is none but he has winning over his own enemies. So here it is not controlling the other people or having a fight with the world outside, not at all. This winning completely relates to the feelings, the emotions which the jiva, the soul, is being found within itself. So here beautifully Jainism says, the one who has win over himself can win the whole world. So here he talks about the conquering the self. through emotions, through feelings, and through every angle of each perspective. Now, when we say religion, so a little bit view about the Jain religion. So this Jain religion particularly doesn't talk about of having its own identity within its group. This Jain religion is basically doesn't give a name tag to any people. To identify oneself as a Jain is very simply following certain set of conduct. Because when we say Jin, they are the one who has conquered the self. And the follower of that Jin are none but the Jains. So what do the Jains do? They also follow the path of the same Jinas in conquering the self. And this conquering the self is the beautiful process of self-realization, of spiritual upliftment. And also, it helps one to be in oneself. So this completely helps one to be with full of awareness, being in the awakening state, and as well as it completely concentrates on oneself. So when we talk about here self, it means the soul which is existing in each and every being. When we say conduct, so it means the basic thing giving importance to two types of conducts. One, the context it's related to the ethics, the way of life, how the people live, which is also called in the Jain terms as achar. So there are two basic things. One is Shravak achar and the other one is Muni achar. So when we say Shravak achar, this basically talks about of having certain set of people who can't completely give up their day-to-day life, their earnings, living a normal life with a family, kids, mother, father, and everything. So though being in a family, though being in this world, still they try to concentrate on their self. And that set of people are called as Shravak Achar. So though being in this day-to-day life activities, following their life, business, and everything, they have to follow certain set of rules. There are other certain set of rules, the people called Muni Achar. So when we say this Muni Achar, this talks about the people who are really interested and they want to have an end to all kinds of sufferings and pains. They are desperately in coming out of this transmigration of birth and death. And that is where the people tend to choose the path of Muniachar. It's none but the life of monks and ascetics. So in this, they strictly follow certain rules, certain conducts. So basically, if you say Jainism, it is all about only the ethic parts, which is Shravakachar and Muniachar. So nowhere it is tagged, if you do so, you are a Jain. If you don't so, you're not a Jain. No. The main motto behind the Jainism is to attain the path of liberation. And one who is in this path, they all are said to be as Jains. And this Jain religion is being given by the 24 Tirthankaras, which starts from the first Tirthankar, Rishabhanath, till the last Tirthankar, Lord Mahavira. And what are the basic understands of this religion when we talk about to be as interreligious is vegetarianism. If you see all the people following vegetarianism, this makes a beautiful world. giving consideration to all the living beings in the world. And that is what Lord Mahavira has said, live and let live. We have other options to survive in this world. Let us be happy with the plants, fruits, whatever we get. And that will help us to lead our life, a happy life. And whereas we help also the other beings to survive, to exist in this world. The second thing talks about non-violence, a very great thing for the present scenario. A lot of violence going on outside the world. And where are we heading to? This help of non-violence first begins within us. How? Because when we say non-violence, it means being at peace. This being at peace is resting our own self with full of equanimity, the most difficult state to follow, to practice. And this beautiful practice will lead to the beautiful world. So when we say non-violence, it does not only include killing and harming of other beings. This includes making ourselves at ease, being at peace. Because the person who is at peace will automatically let others to be in peace. And that is how I hope all the religion talks about the peace. We want a smooth, a soft, and a very welcoming society. For that, this non-violence plays a very vital role. Next, coming to truthfulness. Yes, this is a basic requirement which we expect even at our place and also we expect from other people. When this is being followed, automatically the whole world is at peace. Because when person talks truth, this shows their transparency, this shows how they are true to themselves, and this shows that there's nothing to be planned, there's nothing to be spoken, which has to be thought over it. The truthfulness is a very important tool to have a very communicating at peace. This truth is the only aspect which makes one to have a belief over one another. Because the society where we live, it works on belief. Without belief, there's nothing. Whatever business, whatever life we live, everything is based on belief. Even when we think about our future plans, when we think about our next minute planning, that is also based on that belief. So this whole thing works on belief. And when we follow this process of truthfulness in our life, this will automatically make our belief most firm and strong, so that this will lead a very peace and very smooth life. And in this thing, there's nowhere religion coming in that this religion only talks about truthfulness.
Come here.
So this becomes a very basic principle
See,
for all the religion to follow. It becomes a very basic principle for everyone to understand and follow this in their day-to-day life. So if you see these basic understandings of Jainism doesn't only belongs to Jainism. This is something where to be applied in the whole world, in the whole universe, where in return, it becomes a very smooth running of the country, of the world, of the universe. Then comes the non-stealing. Yes, the stealing. Basically, when we talk about stealing, it means only robbing or taking away things of others. But nowadays we have so many forms, new forms of stealing, like crime, cyber, everything. All digital form of stealing has been started. So which Lord Mahavira has long back told that please stick on to non-stealing. This is the basic requirement to have a harmonious society, harmonious living, harmonious happiness into this world. And when we come out of all these things, that leads to disasters. And doing all this digital form of crimes and everything has become a new upcoming way of disaster, dangerous, making people so scared how to survive in this society when so much things are happening. So one who follows these kinds of principles will automatically be at ease. And it helps the society to also be at ease. And last comes non-possession. Basically, non-possession is not only related to acquiring of whatever materialistic things we have. Because having materialistic things is based on one's own capacity, one's own position, how much they acquire, how much they earn, and how much they have it. But what's behind this important thing of non-possession is the attachment, the desire. Because the more and more we get attached to this materialistic things, it will lead us to move towards the transmigration of birth and death, the acquirement, the jealousy, the needs, the desires, everything keeps on increasing. And once we have the control over the desire, this will lead us automatically to have the life of non-possession. It is like a very simple example for this to understand is when we think about a Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, he is living at a very best place of the country and he has all the facilities and he has got the every way to enjoy the life. But if we have a look over it, the way what he lives really expresses this non-possession. He's not attached to these materialistic things. He's very much dedicated to his own works and deeds, as a result of which we are growing at a very fast aspect. We can see Modi, though, having with all these facilities, his views, his desires, his wants is very limited for himself. But he always thinks the benefits of the people. So this, at the current scenario, we can say the best example for non-possession is related to desire. When we desire, we try to own things. When we own things, we automatically possess things. And when we start possessing most of the materialistic things, this becomes again a disaster. Why? Again, a maintaining problem, taking care of it, running behind it, scare of robbery, and there are so many other things coming into it. So that's why my Lord Mahavira has already said to be non-possessiveness. And these are the basic understandings through Jainism, where it's not only related to Jainism. If you see, these are the common things where every religion talk about it. But how much do we follow? That is more important. Next, coming to the topic of the universe. When we say universe, so we all know this whole universe is made of just two things, living and non-living. But when we talk about this living things, what is the major aspect of it? And there they say it is only of two things, micro level and macro level. Micro levels are also living beings, which we can't see them, but still they are existing in this universe. They have their rights to live in this world. They have also taken birth. They have also right to exist in this universe.
Yeah.
So this whole universe, if you see, it's completely occupied with only three kinds of living beings: animals, plants, and human beings. Basically, what are these three beings? So they all come under one category as soul existing in them, though it may be in the animal form, though it may be in the plant form, or though it may be in the human form. So one common thing, what we find in all, is there is a supreme soul existing in all these beings. And that soul is equal in all beings. There's no difference in any soul. Either it may be in plants, animals, or human beings. Not even there's any difference between you and I and the audience over here. Or everybody's soul is equal. Everybody have the supreme characteristics in it. There's no difference in it. Then what is that difference? So that comes the identity. All these, whatever we observe, we see the human, it's all these difference of identity is based on their spiritual development. Internally, all the souls are equal. There's no doubt in it. But externally, when we start think over it, work over it, that becomes the changes. That makes a difference of how the beings are existing in this world. So this basically depends on the spiritual development by understanding the reality. As we said, the all souls are equal. It means talking about the inner spirit. This inner spirit is that the consciousness which is existing in all the jivas, in all the beings of the universe. And this inner spirit will exist forever. There is no end for this inner spirit, but there is end for our external existence, what we are. Maybe in the form of human, animal, or plants, because all these are temporary. Because we have born, it means we have to undergo death. So these, the external features, all are the temporary aspect. And that is not the actual we. This is the very big blunder which we all have in our minds. And we run our life behind this. For example, when I talk here, I've been recognized as Sunitha. Now me as Sunitha, if you see, I'm not the identity of who I am. My real identity is something different. The identity of who I am right now, talking in front of you all, is just a temporary part. Like playing a role of any play or any script, because I'm not going to be permanent as Sunitha forever. I have taken birth in this human form. So my parents have given this name. And after some years, I have to attain to death. So what happens after death? The Sunitha will not exist. So who is going to exist after death? It's my soul, but in different form. So that is why I meant here that the inner spirit will always be the same. Only the external form, whatever we get, that keeps changing. And that depends on the spiritual development, how much we go. As we said, that all living beings are same from spiritual aspect, because every soul, the beautiful thing given by Jainism to all the beings in this world is every single soul has the capacity to become God, to attain the state of Godhood, because every soul is equal. There's no difference in any soul, that one soul is supreme and the other soul is inferior. No inferiority, no superiority. How much sooner, how much earlier we understand this identity of our own soul and we start working its upliftment through the self-realization process, we will also be in the state of Godhood. And that is what the Jain prayer talks about. Not as a person worship, but as a personality worship. Even when we say the 24 Tirthankaras, these 24 Tirthankaras are just the food makers. They are not the originators of Jainism. They are not the creators of this universe. They are also a part of this universe. They have also taken the birth in this human form. They have identified their self. They have also undergone the process of self-realization and they have attained their godhood. And that is what they teach us, that you are also with all potential. You have the full potential in you. Don't waste your time. Very beautifully, in every scriptures of Jainism, you can find the common word goes, Samayam Goyam Mapamayam. Don't waste even a single minute. Start working for yourself. And that is most important. And that is what every word of the scriptures, the Lord keep telling us. Don't waste your time and utilize this time, how much ever it's possible, for the self-realization. And last, Lord says here, oneness in all and all in one. So when we say all in one, it means that soul which is existing in all. Every living beings in this world is the same. There's no difference in any soul. The soul is the same. And that's how it goes about. Next, coming to the principles. The very important principles of Jainism, and which not only talks about following for one set of people. This is commonly when it is applied in all over the world. That becomes the strong power to have a beautiful world upcoming. This world will be a very happy and a peaceful life. How? By following just these three principles. As we saw, Ahimsa, the non-violence. When we talk non-violence, here it basically talks about even the feelings of other beings. If it is not disturbed, then think how mutual understanding will be created in this society. Nobody will have any kind of hatred towards others because the non-violence begins from inside. This is right from the heart of the feeling where I must not supposed to hurt or harm through my deeds, through my words, and through my thoughts to other beings. When this itself is being sowed in every being from the birth, think how the bright future will be the universe. So this is something where a very important talk everybody should get imbibed in it, because non-violence is not something the outer aspect should be seen. It begins with the inner aspect of each and every individual, each and every self. And that is the most important aspect. Next, coming to the second principle, Anekanvada. Why the importance of Anekanvada is discussed. The meaning of Anekanvada is multi-dimensional viewpoint. So, majorly if we see outside, those clashes, those arguments, those kinds of hatredness, all these things takes place when the views are not accepted. When the two people's views are clashed, when the people are not given the importance of their views. So all these things come under the aspect of not accepting others. Whatever I say is the right. Whatever I think is the right. And whatever I feel is right. Through this Anekanvada, Lord has beautifully making understand that first listen to each viewpoints, what they want to say. For this, the best example, what we can say is a blind man, 6 blind men, when they touch an elephant, how many blind men? 6. And when they cross in the forest and seems to touch an elephant, so one person says, I know how the elephant is. He says, by touching the elephant's ears, that it's a very large, thin layer-like structure. Whereas the other man says, no, 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 I have experienced the elephant. He has experienced the leg of the elephant by telling, I have experienced the elephant to be a pillar-like structure. There's a third person who says, no, 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 no. I have experienced the elephant by touching the trunk of the elephant. He says, it's a pipe-like structure. The other person immediately says, no, 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 no. I have experienced the elephant where by touching the body of the elephant, it's a very huge, big part of it. Immediately the other person says, no, I have experienced the elephant by touching its tail, telling it's a very thin rope-like structure. And then they have the arguments among themselves, talking that, no, I'm right, you're wrong. He says, no, no, I'm right, you're wrong. So the arguments keeps going on. And then there crosses a wise man, and he comes to see that why these people are fighting among themselves. And then he clears out that, please calm down. You all 6 people, you're all right on your part. But what is the mistake here is you all have touched only one part of the elephant. But when you all combine your viewpoints, that becomes a whole elephant. So it means thinking the reality or seeing the reality from various perspectives. That is the multi-dimensional viewpoint. So every time when we talk about the reality can never be one-sided. So the truth has to be reached from every angle. So whoever is talking about it, whoever is giving idea about it, let us understand from what perspective they are talking. And that will give a peace in the society. And that will give the respect to that person, to their views, and they will happily be in harmony because they have given that recognition. They have given that importance, and they will always be in support of it. And that is what the power of this Anekanvada. Next, coming to the last important A is Aparigraha. That is what we discussed about non-possession, which says control your desires, control over attachments, because it is this attachment which makes the person to go more and more greedy, to grow more and more into all kinds of passions, anger, deceit, conceit, greed, everything. So once, if that desire and if this attachment is controlled, automatically we control over our own emotions, our own feelings. And this will help us to be in the state of that equanimity. Next, What are the important aspects by following such? See, when we say religion towards moving as an interreligious thing, the very common thing which I felt is whenever we discuss about religion, it has its name. Like right now in this platform, there are so many speakers who are talking about their own religions, right? We have from Christian, we have from Islam, we have Buddhism, we have Jainism. There are so many people coming and talking about it. But we have ever thought from where these many religions have been existing? The most important thing to be here understood, when we say interreligious, it means what? All these religions, these name tags is not given by our food makers or given by our gods or given by them. For example, when we say Jesus, the God of Christian, the Lord of Christian, is that Jesus who says that the one who follow me is a Christian? No. Jesus never, I think he has never used the word as Christian. When I say Jain, the Jineshwar Bhagwan, he never said that the one who follow me becomes Jains. They all just came, they have shown us the path, they themselves have been that path, and they have gone. But what are we doing with that? We as a people, holding to that and giving a name for it by just collecting that group of people. And we have given those name tags as Jain, Buddhism, Christianity, Islam, and so on. Then how can this become interreligious? So for that, this is what the basic step goes. Thinking, first thing, as I am a human. Understanding the importance of humanity. What are the basic requirements as being a human in this society? This will become a harmony in the society, in the world, for the peaceful world. When we go into the part of these religious aspects, there becomes the differences. There comes in lot of ups and downs. There comes in the viewpoints, the other viewpoints and everything. As if we follow this Anekanvada and understand that every religion, basically, what do they talk about? Peace. Every religion talks about peace. And if we follow it through non-violence, that is the greatest leap. So there the religion doesn't come in. Why? Because non-violence being the basic requirement for all. So to be at peace, non-violence is the beautiful key for it. So I never say that please follow the words of Jinas. This is not only for Jinas, or this is not only for the Jains. This interreligious aspect has to understand that whatever is betterment for the society, it has to be accepted, adapted, and followed so that the whole world becomes one religion. We don't need to discriminate things that so-and-so is being said by this, so-and-so is being said by this, so-and-so we are supposed to follow this. Let us all take out the best part of it and follow in one platform. This will help us, the religion, to have a peaceful world. And then there will definitely not even be any place to even think of, identifying with any name. When the human is at peace, when the human is always found in the happiest state, everybody will be carried away by it. And that identity plays a vital role in the society. And that is where we feel to be the most important aspect. Because every living beings in the world basically wants to be happy. Nobody wants to suffer. Nobody wants to have the sorrowness, sufferings, pains, and all those things. The only desire of every living beings in the world is to be happy. And this happiness can be achieved, can be attained by following the basic humanity rules of very small, small things like non-violence, non-possession, Anekanvada, understanding everyone as a human. And every soul is like me, like who I am. That itself will create a big difference, because which I don't like, it means it wouldn't be liked by anyone. So that will automatically stop the human to go into that wrong path, to think ill about others, to talk ill about others, and to do any crime about in the society. When this intention is being imbibed in every human, then definitely this world will be free from crime. Definitely this society will be a harmonious society. Definitely the society will love each other, will encourage this environment to become a very positive and have a happy life for all the living creatures in the universe. And that is what here, in a very simple way, Jainism is teaching us. It's been sharing the viewpoints to all the religion, that let us unite together. Let us have these basic principles which will help us all to work together, to be together, and to live together. And that's when the person understands this and start living accordingly, then it becomes the self-disciplined life. There's nobody else want to monitor. I think when the people over here have this intention and live their life accordingly, then there is no feeling of having a protection from anyone. No need of laws, no need of police, no need of anything. The society will automatically be a self-disciplined when each human becomes self-disciplined. And how will that work? Through Maitri Bhavana, the friendliness feeling, the thought of friendliness with all the other beings. Consider each and every beings, every human as my friend. And I will not harm or hurt my friend. That's the beautiful feeling when it comes in. Everybody will be in that auspicious thought of helping each other. This becomes a beautiful way of living. And finally, all these things will take place with a very beautiful weapon called forgiveness. If at all some mistake has been occurred by anybody, start forgiving others. And secondly, start asking forgiveness from others. These are the two beautiful silent weapons which can melt the opposite person's heart. One is asking forgiveness and second is giving forgiveness. These both plays a very important role. Why? Because by asking forgiveness, we show them that it doesn't mean that we are covered and we just accept whatever it is. This shows our bravery. And second thing, when we forgive others, that's another bravery award, because that is the very difficult task for us to do so. If somebody has hurt us, we never forget that. We always keep in our mind, no, that person has really hurt me a lot. How can he say this? How can he do that to me? I have to answer for this. I have to give back for this. And this is what we are doing, a very big mistake. So tend to forgive other people. Let them know how courageous you are, how bold you are. We are not a cover person to take always revenge. That is not our duty. Our life is very short, limited period. We are not going to stay here for thousands of years. Why thousands? Nowadays, it is not even guaranteed for 100 years also. The life is very short, very small. Let us live a happy life. That happiness should begin within us. So let's start that thing within us. And when we do that, that becomes a very bigger aspect. That will help us to have a great leap for this. This will help us to have a harmonious society. Because when there's happiness inside, automatically we try to share this happiness even outside the society, outside our people. It goes with the family. We have a peaceful family. That family will share again. So it is 1 to 10, 10 to 100, 100 to 1,000, and it goes on. So this is the very beautiful things which through Jainism, it's been teaching us. Next comes the final teachings of Lord Mahavira to have a very harmonious life is Parasparopagraho Jivana. Parasparopagraho is, paras means others, par, and graho Jivana is we all are one house under one roof of this universe. So every living beings are our friends. So try to help each one another. And this will bring a beautiful harmony. So consider this whole universe to be our house. Because in house, we all are one family. When this universe become a house, all the living beings become our family. And when there is a family, it's always a good behavior with them. And that behavior will be friendliness, happiness, sharing, helping, all such kind of beautiful qualities. And that is what the Lord has telling us. And next comes Ahimsa Paramo Dharam. So in the name of religion, let us all come into the guidance of non-violence. It's a very big silent weapon. Without committing any sin, and that is what it teaches us. Forgiving others and forgetting others' mistake. So through this, it beautifully helps us how to have that sustainability of harmony. Because there are situations where it goes ups and downs, but we immediately think about this will help us to come back, to stick on to those beautiful principles where it becomes as a whole under one thing. So when we say religion, this is what teaching us how to be harmonious, a happy living, and it is never said that this is the principle of Lord Mahavira. This is the thing which he said. Yes, it may be talked by all the peoples, but there's nowhere it is said that if you are a Jain or if you follow this, then you come under this category. No, it is open to all. Never Lord Mahavira said that you come under me, I will take care of you. No. You follow the right path, you are the God of yourself. That is most important. And that is where Lord has beautifully, through his teachings, through his sermons, through his scriptures, he has always given us the right path. And he has given up to you. If you want, you're really interested in knowing about it and following it, and you want to get rid of all these sufferings and pains, then you are welcome. Follow it. There's no hard and fast rule that only so-and-so can follow or so-and-so can't follow. Nothing is like that. It's all depends on individual's interest. And that is how the Jainism things exist. And that is how Lord Mahavira is being, words have been shared and been distributed to all the people in the universe. And that depends how we take and how we pursue. So basically, all his teachings, all his principles is for a peaceful and harmonious society, harmonious universe. And this is not stick to one religion. These are the very common things. When every people start imbibing it, this will lead as excuse me. So to have this peaceful world as one interreligious aspect, following the basic things. I hope the message has been reached to all of you. And in a very simple way, things have been made it clear, a very simple PowerPoint presentation. So where you can understand what is the real importance of being interreligious. So in the name of religion, we don't want that differentiation. What are the basic things which makes us to have as a one? And that is what I've highlighted in this presentation. I hope it has been easily communicated and understood. And that is where I shared my viewpoints. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for giving this opportunity. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Sunitha, for this lovely, clear presentation, where you made us aware that the whole stress on Jainism is to live a good human life. Whether you belong to one religion or the other is not important. Those are just labels. So I think that was very clear. And I would invite the audience to ask for any clarifications and then any questions. So it's open to everyone. Unmute them. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead. Please unmute yourself or unmute from here.
Sir, you're on mute, sir.
Please unmute yourself.
Father, can you hear me now?
Yes, now you're clear. Come.
I'm Mika Joseph. I think you didn't recognize me.
No.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Okay. Dr. Sunitha, I had one question. And based on that question, sir, I will raise some other issues which you have brought up very important points. My question to you is just now, if I want to become a Jain, will your faith accept me?
You don't have to.
Yes, sir. Because as I discussed in the main points of PPT, there is no certain rules that you have to do so and so things. This accepting Jainism is completely depends on the belief, on the faith. So when you are confident, you have faith on these principles, and when you start following it, you are automatically a Jain.
No. You're saying if I follow it, I am a Jain, but I'm saying if I come to you and ask for a conversion,
Jainism never talks about conversion, sir.
Okay,
it is completely on the practices.
I wanted to hear this from you, because you rightly said that maybe we should work towards a world religion. You said that.
Yes, sir.
I do not know if that is possible, because each one of us has such different views. You're a vegetarian. I'm maybe a vegetarian by choice, but basically we are non-vegetarian. So there are so many differences, right? So would it not be better, and that is why I asked you this question, that we respect one another's religions and let each person practice their own faith? And like you rightly said, that you your religion will not accept me into their faith because I belong to another faith. But if we have this basic tolerance that, okay, you stick to your faith, I stick to my faith, we are more or less working towards a world religion. And all the religions in the world, whether it's people of the Old Testament, New Testament, or, Buddhist or Jain, talk of only one thing, love. Love is a supreme emotion, and we are talking of a spiritual love. Now, and the most
Yes.
important, and as you rightly pointed out, whether we are, Christians, Muslims, Parsis, we all belong to one soul. So
Yes,
you
sir.
spoke of unity.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
if people realize this, that we can work within our faith and not think that only my religion is the right one and it's meant for everybody, no, then there'll never be peace, because
That becomes dominance.
and
Then
that is
that
also
dominance won't work. Yes, sir.
that is also violence of a different sort,
Yeah, that's true. Because again, there comes the feelings of hurting others. So
Yes.
nowhere Jainism talks about
Only
hurting.
because we have different views. Now, actually, in our own family, family members have different views, but we have to learn to respect it.
Yes, yes.
So,
Why, sir? Why to go to the family?
One world religion might not come, but we have this code of conduct. Definitely, we'll be working towards
For
universal.
this, I can just add on one simple example.
Ah.
Just our hand, which we have this 5 fingers, they all are not the same, but still they are all together. And when they are together, they become the unity. Even if one doesn't work, we become very restless. So though you are what you are, you play your own role, but that unity brings the strength in it. So being together is more important than what role you play is not much.
But we are only together, remember, when we realize we are one soul.
Yes, yes, from the soul aspect only. That's true, sir.
Externally, we are all different. So it's only when we begin to see the divinity in each of us that we'll work towards what you were talking. Am I right?
Yes, sir. Yes, you're absolutely right, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir.
Anyone else? I think another important Jain principle is the Anekanvada, where, multi-dimensional understanding of life.
Yes, sir.
If we accept that, then we accept plurality and give each one space to grow. And within that growth, the soul's emphasis, what you emphasize of our common humanity. So we are all growing to be better human beings. So therefore, respecting others, being concerned, being open, so that should kind of transform us.
That's true, sir. Because when we talk about this multidimensional viewpoint, it's like we give importance to everyone.
Right.
There's no one that I'm this or what I have said is right. Accepting everybody's viewpoint. That really plays a big difference, sir. That's true.
Thank you. Any question? Anyone else? I can't see any hands. Yeah. Open them up. Was the statistic is blocked? Okay.
You have to unmute yourself in order to
Ask questions.
No, I personally think, I'm not asking a question, I think it was a very good talk. Unfortunately, the number of participants is too few.
Yes.
But if each one of us tries to understand what Dr. Sunitha was saying and work towards that goal, Father Peter, you will achieve your objective of interreligious harmony.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your compliments, sir.
Thank you, Mika. But all these talks will be uploaded, so you're all welcome to spread the news also, where others can also follow at their convenience what is happening.
Yes, sir.
I think what is most important is the attitude we want to develop of respecting each other and understanding each other. I think that is primary.
Yes, sir.
So if there are no more questions or clarifications, I want to take this opportunity to thank Dr. Sunitha for obliging us. In spite of all her pressure, she said, no, she wants to be part of it. So thank you very, very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for remembering me and calling for this session.
On behalf
I'm
of
bit glad for it.
SIASA, that's Southern Institute for the Study of Religion, and St. Vincent College of Commerce and the management, we want to thank you and all the participants, and we hope that next Thursday too, we will have more people attending. Next Thursday too, we have Dr. Mr. Bakshi Singh, who will speak from the Sikh point of view. He was also there earlier, so he will be familiar with some people at least. So thank you. And now we will end with a small praise song.
हीच मुची प्रार्थनान हेच मुचे मागणी माणसाने माणसाशी माणसा समवागणे धर्म जाती प्रांत भाषा द्वेष सारे संपुदे एक निष्ठा एक आशा एक रंगी रंगुदे
Thank you and good night, everyone. God bless.